Hello everyone. So we are back with another video of our chapter, that is agriculture. If you remember that in the previous video we discussed about the three types of farming, and out of which we discussed in detail about the primitive subsistence farming. Today in this video, we will be talking in detail about intensive subsistence farming, commercial farming, plantations, and very importantly, cropping pattern. So over the years, cultivation methods in India have changed because there are different physical environments, because of technological developments, and also because of the socio-cultural practices. So there are farming that have actually varied from subsistence to commercial farming, and at present in different parts of India we have three different farming patterns that are being followed or that are being practiced. That is primitive subsistence farming, that is with the help of use of primitive tools. Then the two we'll be discussing today in detail in this video, that is the intensive subsistence farming and commercial farming. Now let's firstly talk about intensive subsistence farming. So what is intensive subsistence farming, children? Basically, in this type of farming, it is mainly practiced in the areas where there is high population pressure on the land. And why it is practiced actually in the high population areas? So that it can meet the needs of those people who are living in that area. Now, in this type of farming, basically, it is a labor intensive farming. Lot of labor, lot of people are required to work in the fields. Basically, biochemical inputs are also used, and irrigation facilities are also being used in this type of farming, so that higher production or higher output can be obtained, right? Because the farmers here require higher production, higher input from the land, hence they are using biochemical inputs and irrigation in high doses. Now, though the right of inheritance that has actually led to the division of land among the successive generations, it has actually rendered the landholding size uneconomical. Now, because of the right of inheritance, the big lands or the large land that were initially owned by only one person were then divided in between their children. Now, it has actually affected the land holding size uneconomical, and the farmers actually continue to take maximum output from the limited area. So the land is limited, but the production needs to be high because it has to meet the needs of the growing population. And hence, for this reason, the farmers here are using artificial methods, that is, they are using biochemical processes, artificial irrigation methods, so that they can obtain higher production or higher output. And also because the farmers don't have an alternative source of livelihood, and they're totally dependent on the produce of that will be coming from the fields, and hence they're taking steps in that direction for the increased production. Very importantly, due to this, enormous pressure is there on the agricultural land. Do you know that 12% of world's farmland is in India? Indeed, a very interesting fact that we learned today. Now let's move on to the next type of farming, that is commercial farming. Very importantly, in commercial farming, higher doses of modern inputs like HYV seeds, that is high yielding variety seeds, chemical fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, these are all used so that higher productivity, higher output can be obtained from the particular field or that farmland. Now, the degree of commercialization varies from region to region. Basically, the crops that are grown in such fields where commercial farming is going on, or where the modern inputs are used, basically the crops in those fields are grown for commercial purposes. Example, let's talk about some of the examples of commercial crops like rice. That is a commercial crop that is grown in Punjab and Haryana. But if we talk about rice that is grown in Odisha, it is basically grown as a subsistence crop. By this, we understand that rice in Punjab and Haryana is grown for commercial purposes so that it can also be sold in other markets, or it can also be exported to other areas or other countries. But in Orissa, if we talk about, rice is grown as a subsistence crop. That means that is only grown for the purpose of usage for the people of that area. Let's talk about plantations. So basically, plantation is a type of commercial farming only. And what happens in this? In this type of farming, a single crop is grown on a larger area, and the plantation has an interface of agriculture and industry both. Now, plantations use capital intensive inputs, and with the help of the migrant laborers, the plantations are being done. Now, all the produce or all the output is used as a raw material for the industries, and hence it justifies the statement that we studied above, that is, the plantations are an interface of agriculture and industry, and what is grown on the field is used as a raw material by the industries. Now let's take an example of tea plantations that are being done in Assam and North Bengal, coffee plantations in Karnataka, banana plantations in southern part of India, rubber plantations in Kerala, bamboo plantations in northeast India, etc. Now these were some of the examples of plantations that are being practiced or that are being done in different parts of our country. So these are some of the very important plantation crops that are being grown in different parts of our country. Now, since the production is mainly for market, so basically the production that is being done in the plantations are only for the market purposes, as they are growing raw material for the industries. So for that purpose, a well-developed network of transport and communication is required for successful plantation. So a well-developed network of transport and communication is there that connects the plantation areas and the processing industries to which they are actually providing the raw material. And also a well-developed network of transport and communication is also connected to the market, where the final product would be sold after the production. Now let's come on to our next topic, that is cropping pattern. So in India, if we talk about, there are three cropping seasons, that are the Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. You must have heard in your earlier classes about Rabi and Kharif season, but you are learning for the first time about the Zaid season. So let's talk about in the coming up slides about these in detail. Now first, let's start with Rabi crops. Basically, these crops are sown in winter season, that is from October to December, and these are harvested in summer from April to June. Again, I am repeating, Rabi crops are sown in winter season and harvested in summer season, and hence they are also called as winter crops. Now, some of the examples of important crops that are grown are wheat, barley, peas, gram and mustard. And some of the states where the Rabi crops are sown are Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Western UP. These are the main areas where the Rabi crops, mainly wheat, are produced. Now, availability of precipitation, that is rain, during the winter months due to the western temperate cyclones, it actually helps in the success of these crops, because there is precipitation available during the winter months, which is there due to the western temperate cyclones. It actually helps the crops to grow. Now, because of the success of the Green Revolution that was in Punjab, Haryana, and Western Uttar Pradesh, and also in some parts of Rajasthan, it has contributed significantly in the growth of the Rabi crops. Now, next are the Kharif crops. Basically, Kharif crops, children, are sown with the onset of monsoon in different parts of the country, and they are harvested in the months of September and October. Now, some of the important Kharif crops are paddy, maize, jowar, bajra, tur, that is arhar, moong, urad, cotton, jute, groundnut, and soya bean. If you can see, if you observe that there are a lot of pulses that are being included in the Kharif crops. Now, some of the most important rice growing regions, if we talk about, are Assam, West Bengal, coastal regions of Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Maharashtra, particularly the Konkan coast, along with Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. So, these were some of the most important rice growing regions. Now, recently, if we talk about paddy or rice, it has also become a very important crop of Punjab and Haryana, and it is also grown there. Now, in states like Assam, West Bengal, and Orissa, if we talk about, three crops of paddy are grown in a year. In a year, three crops of paddy are grown, that is Os, Aman, and Boro. Now, lastly, we'll be talking about the Zaid crops. Basically, Zaid season is a short season, and this season occurs between the Rabi and the Kharif seasons, that is during the summer months. Now, the crops that are produced in the Zayed season are watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, vegetables, and fodder crops. So this season is a short season that is between the Rabi and the Kharif season, and some of the Zaid crops we have talked about, and you can see the pictures of some of the Zaid crops, that is cucumber, watermelon, some of the vegetables, fodder crops, and muskmelon. So children, that's all for today. Today in this video we discussed in detail about intensive subsistence farming, commercial farming, then we discussed in detail about plantations, and then we came on to our topic, that is cropping pattern, where we discussed about three cropping patterns or three cropping seasons, that is Rabi, Kharif, and Zaid. Children, that's all for today. We'll come back again with the next video with the next topic. Thank you so much.